What's going on, guys? It's Merkja here, and welcome back to a brand new video. And something big has been happening for the past few days. So if you're into the Fortnite community, most likely you know about the situation between Faze and Tfue. So basically it came out that Tfue was suing Faze clan because they were taking 80% of his revenue. Now Faze Banks came out and said this was completely false. He basically said all they took was $60,000 and that was from a couple brand deals. Now in my opinion, I believe Faze over Tfue. Now when I first heard about this, I believed Tfue because I was like, why would he lie about something like this? But then as more and more evidence started coming out, I definitely think that Faze is in the right. Because if they took more than $60,000 from Tfue, then there would definitely be proof out there. You know, you'd think Tfue would release some proof. Now, the original contract was leaked, apparently. I'm guessing that was Tfue. Tfue probably gave it to someone, and then they leaked it. I mean, that's just a common practice in situations like this. People leak it and say it's from some unknown source, but it's obviously Faze or Tfue leaked this contract. Now, this contract is pretty crazy from what I've seen. It does say that they can take 80% of his revenue. Now, that is just a crazy contract, but you have to remember when Faze signed Tfue, he was a nobody. He had like 100 viewers on Twitch or something. So pretty much right after they signed Tfue, he exploded. And what Faze Banks has said is they've taken no money from Tfue. So from what I understand is they are entitled to 80% of his earnings, but they haven't taken any. Now legally, Faze could take all Tfue's money pretty much. They could say, hey, you know, you owe us 80%, but they haven't done that. They haven't collected on the money, and they've been trying to renegotiate this contract because when they first made this contract, it was when Tfue was a little guy, and now Tfue is the biggest Fortnite YouTuber streamer in the world. So I will agree that contract is definitely crazy, but Tfue's making it seem like he couldn't get out of this contract when Faze Banks has said multiple times that he's tried to get Tfue a new contract. And then it came out that Tfue was gonna make his own organization. And now it's clear what his motivations were for this entire thing. He didn't want a new contract with Faze, he wanted out of it. He wanted out of Faze completely. Now, when you sign something, you are basically saying that you completely agree to all the terms. He signed a 3-year contract, which I think he's only been at Faze for like a year now, so he still has 2 years left on his contract. And Tfue wants to make his own organization, his own pro team, and obviously this is gonna make him millions and millions of dollars. And I see people making videos saying, oh wow, Banks lied, Tfue is right, Banks exposed, Faze is lying, and all of these crazy videos. But from my point of view, it looks like Tfue is the one in the wrong. He's the one trying to make a gaming organization and wants out of Faze. They tried to give him a new contract. They knew this contract was bad. You know, they all signed it when Tfue was just starting out. They didn't know he's going to be as successful. So they tried to give him a new contract. They didn't take any of his money. And he hasn't signed a new contract, and now he's trying to get out of it, and now he's trying to slander Faze Clan. Now, some people are mad at Faze Banks because he seems completely unprofessional. He's on Twitter basically yelling at Tfue, tweeting a whole bunch, but if you have followed Faze Banks for a long time like me, then you know he's an emotional person. I mean, he's the guy that got in a bar fight. I mean, that's just the type of person Faze Banks is. He's very emotional, he's very dramatic, and he's real. He's not fake like Tfue. You know, if you compare their videos, Tfue's right, he's there reading a script for 2 minutes. Well, Faze Banks made a 20-minute video basically explaining the situation from his heart, telling the truth. I mean, in my opinion, Faze is definitely in the right. You know, Tfue had to be fake and make this script, and Banks just told everything from the heart. And I think it's sad, you know, Faze pretty much made Tfue, and what Tfue does is he stabs them in the back. So yeah, that's just my take on the situation. I just saw these videos that were like basically defending Tfue. I mean, I will admit that contract is terrible. You can defend him because the original contract was terrible, but they tried to make him a new contract, and he's acting like they've been taking his money when they haven't.